The Perrine Bridge is an iconic landmark. It was built in 1976, but that wasn't the first bridge to cross the gorge. The original bridge was actually built 50 years prior to that, giving travelers an easier route to the city of Twin Falls. Today, over 30,000 vehicles cross the bridge each day.
Its goal is transportation, so it gets people back and forth. But because it's designed with pedestrian pathways on it, it becomes a chance for people to go out, see the scenic beauty, and then, of course, our base jumpers.
Base jumpers like Matthew "Thumper" Rivera. He's in the Air Force, stationed in Texas, but came here on vacation just so he can jump from the bridge.
The feeling when your canopy opens and that moment in between is just bliss. Like, you can't even explain it. Sometimes you don't even remember what happened just because your nerves are just going. You don't hear the cars going past. You don't hear people screaming, honking their horns. You're just so focused on what you're doing. It's amazing.
The Perrine Bridge is the only man-made structure in the United States where base jumping is allowed year-round without a permit or any regulations.
In the late 80s, early 90s, base jumping was kind of a growing sport. I think some people found this as a great place to do it, so they started doing it. There was some discussion with the State Transportation Department, as they're the owner of the bridge, as to whether they would regulate it or not. And the advice at the time was, without a permit process, the state doesn't assume liability with that. And so it's a great place for them to practice their sport and enjoy their sport. It's not for everyone.
According to the National Center for Health Statistics, base jumping is one of the most, if not the most, dangerous recreational activity, with one death for every 60 participants.
3, 2, 1, see ya!
For Thumper, he knows the sport isn't without risk, but feels the Perrine Bridge is not only one of the most thrilling, but also one of the safest places to jump.
It's a pretty dangerous thing, but this gives you a pretty good cushion of, like, if your canopy opens off heading, you're not gonna fly and hit a cliff or hit a building or, a tree or something. It's a wide open area and pretty safe as long as everything goes good.
But what I love about base jumping is it really personifies kind of that independent spirit that we have in Idaho and in the West. We're not gonna over-regulate you. We're not gonna impose a bunch of rules and have to do all this enforcement. If that's your deal and that's what you want to do, we're willing to be supportive of that.
And with that, it was my turn to make my way up those stairs and out to what the base jumpers call the exit point.